Hello, Jugger fans, and welcome to the Mile High Open. I'm your host, Sebastian Seabass Wolf, and I'm very excited to get into the last round of seeding for day one of the tournament. Now remember, the records for all of day one of seeding will determine the brackets for elimination play starting tomorrow. Phoenix Lights, Reapers, Oklahomies, Desert Wolves, Ursa Majoris, Drengr, Spartans, and Rigor Tortoise all face off for the coveted title of North American Champion. If you guys are still brand new and checking us out for the first time, let's take a second to get to know how to play Jugger and the basics of the rules. Jugger is a competitive sport played between two teams. 4 enforcers armed with Pomfin and able to defend themselves, and 1 quick who has nothing and is the only player able to grab the ball in the center, known as the skull. After a countdown, the players enter the field and face off against each other in the center. The enforcers spar with their Pomfin while the quick fights for control of the skull. If a player is struck by a Pomfin, they drop for a set amount of time, temporarily taken out of the action. Using a variety of Pomfin from the spear-like slash or short and shield to the intimidating chain, an 8-foot ball on a rope, enforcers must work as a team to deal with their opponents while creating an opening for their quick to grab the skull. Once the quick sees an opening, they rush for the skull and then for the goal, placing the skull inside it and scoring a point for their team. Well, there you have it, folks. With the rules out of the way, let's get into our very first match, the Reapers versus the Phoenix Lights. Both of these teams have been putting up pretty great numbers over the course of seeding, but Phoenix Lights remain undefeated heading into their last game of seeding. If they can manage to close out the Reapers here, then they will go 7-0 on their first day. Reapers on the other side of the field are going around even on their records, somewhere around there. Both teams facing off here. We've got Phoenix Lights on the left-hand side, Reapers on the right. Now again, this is set play. This will be our last day of set play. First team to score 3 points wins a set. Best of 3 sets will take the match overall. And with that countdown finishing off, both teams are going to rush onto the field. Reapers are going to get possession first. See the flick back to the skull there. Their quick is going to maneuver up the right-hand side of the field, but Phoenix Lights are in hot pursuit. A beautiful diving Q-tip shot right there will take down the Reapers quick, and just like that, Phoenix Lights are in possession, and I think that might be an easy walk, and I stand corrected. A difficult chain leap will not quite connect, and Phoenix Lights will indeed score point number 1 of the match, starting us off nice and early. Good job overall by the Reapers to get early possession, but Phoenix Lights was able to capitalize on the middle side there, pushing into the right, stopping any sort of push through, and collecting themselves point number 1. Heading into the second point of the match, we can see decently even contention between these teams. Reapers already putting up a good fight, getting initial skull possession and trying their hardest. Countdown is finishing. 3, 2, 1 Jugger, and here we go. Phoenix Lights make their way out to the field. This time they're going to get the flick duel in the middle. We see on the outside here, slash versus slash fighting. Chain break going to come in. Excellent work by the Reapers to take down the chain. Will it be enough? They do not have possession of the skull, but their quick is maneuvering around the field on a good tear. There's coverage on both sides. Unfortunately, skull will be dropped. Reaper's going to do their best to break, but they cannot get it. Swords and boards clash in the middle, trying to win those overall fights. Hawk over there on the outside, trying to stop Reapers from scoring. Chain going to provide coverage, but will miss the chain shot. I stand corrected. Misses the swing there by Hawk, and it looks like Reapers will score their point number 1, tying it up 1-1. That was a beautiful run by the Reapers quick there, just barely dodging Hawk on the sword and board on the side of Phoenix Lights and making this a very contentious match. 1-1 score on the board. We can see the countdown here. A very, very small count of stones in between each point. These teams do not get much of a break before they have to rush back out on the field and fight once again. Dueling sword and boards in the middle. So far, no one in skull possession, but the Phoenix Lights chain is on the outside and they are doing work. Looks like everyone has been brought down at this point in time. Jedi Killer on the outside of the Reapers does not notice the chain and will be taken down. Pins come across the board from Phoenix Lights, and I don't really see how Reapers recover from this one. A good double hit there as Jedi Killer gets a pin, is going to force the chain out of position, but with that, the chain will take them down for 8 stones, and an easy walk in by Phoenix Lights will grab themselves point number 2. Overall, not bad play by the Reapers, but they were just out 1v1'd by Phoenix Lights on that one. There were a ton of Lights standing after the initial clash. They were able to get pins, set it up, and get themselves the advantage. Set number 1 is ready to go over to Phoenix Lights. 2-1, it is set point here as the countdown gets started. And here we go, 3-2-1 Jugger. Both sides will come out, meeting in the middle. You can see the Phoenix Lights there on the right-hand side, going for the flick, the whack with the pump. And once again, the chain is on the flank for Phoenix Lights, absolutely dominating the right-hand side. Is going to take out everyone from the back. Nobody noticed them at all. They're going to get absolutely free play as the rest of the Reapers jump up and try to defend. Pins come in, forced to ice the skull there. Phoenix Lights, they do not cover their quick on the way in, but an immediate ice force from the Reapers as well. Neutral skull possession as everyone begins to battle across the field for positioning and possession of the skull. Right there, it looks like Cerberus will manage to take that one down there, gets a chain break as well, will block once again on the chain. That's 2 in a row, but will be backstabbed by the person they just defeated in a duel. We have the quick running in, but Hawk is going to take them down, forced to ice once again, and now we have control over by the goal. Pins coming in from Phoenix Lights as both sides duke it out. We see Goblin there manages to take down number 3 as well, an easy double, but again, the Phoenix Lights chain completely dominating the field space as pins come in. We're going to see if Phoenix Lights can manage to stop this one or if the Reapers are going to put it away. Pins coming in this time on the side of the Reapers. They're not going to be able to ice it, but Hawk is going to be there to contest. We'll see if it matters. Doesn't matter. It looks like Goblin is going to get it, and there it is. Point number 2 for the Reapers. They're going to tie this one up 2-2. What a beautiful point from both sides. I did not expect the Reapers and Phoenix Lights to be quite this evenly paced back and forth, but we are now at a tied set point. Whoever takes this one will score set number 1 and bring them that much closer to victory. Both sides after an extended bout. Remember, these plays have unlimited time. It is until a player scores, so they can continue for as long as possible until someone finally puts the skull into the goal there. A very long play means a lot of tired players. Good sprint out there from Cerberus is going to do his best to get skull possession to the Reapers, but on the outside, once again, chain on the Phoenix Lights collapses the backhand side. Quick is in possession of the skull, and it's going to be an easy walk-in. Phoenix Lights take a contentious point 2 to an easy point 3, and set number 1 goes straight over to Phoenix Lights. Unfortunate there, the Reapers not able to put the contest where they wanted to. They're going to take those 2 points and completely eat them. Phoenix Lights get the set victory, and that is all that matters. That red dot puts them 3 points away from the game win. Scores reset 0-0, and we're going to see the count in once again. All things considered, the center line of the Reapers is playing very well against the number 1 seeded team, but the chains, both of them from the side of Phoenix Lights, are absolutely crushing the right-hand side. The Reapers just do not have the chain break potential that they need right now to stop those flank plays. New set, we're going to see a switch in directions here, so you'll see Reapers coming in from the left-hand side, and once again, chain on the outside for Phoenix Lights completely dominates the field, taking down several on the outside, but it doesn't seem to matter as Cerberus rushes in, taking the quick down as well. Backstab will take down Hawk as well, and Reapers are in decent control here. We'll see if they can manage to get what they need. I stand corrected. Chain absolutely dominating the outside of the field once more. Phoenix Lights chain really stepping through, and a chase down won't be fast enough. Phoenix Lights score the first point of the set. Reapers need to be able to control that chain if they are going to do anything at all. Phoenix Lights are constantly using it to capitalize. Everyone else's center duels are going around 50-50, but Phoenix Lights are dominating on the side of the chain, and it is showing with points. 1-0 now the score. 2 more. Phoenix Lights puts this one away and remains undefeated for the entirety of seeding. There we go. Countdown complete as both teams rush in. We'll take a look at the skull. Flank maneuver attempted by Phoenix Lights. I think it'll be successful as they manage to get the down. Still manages to get a double there, but it doesn't seem to matter as Reapers manage to go away with the skull, but they are going to get taken down at the mound. Contest by the other quick. Beautifully done. They are now in possession of the skull as Phoenix Lights moves down the field. We see them now crossing center camera here. A bit of a contest inside of the blind spot. Looks like Quick will go down. They're going to be forced away from the skull as number 3, it appears, is still up after that light contact. Close to charging there as swords and boards duke it out. Cerberus manages to get a double before diving for the skull, but cannot get it down in time. We're going to see Cerberus there lying on the ground. I do not believe injured. I think just unfortunately tripped on their attempt to grab the skull, and Phoenix Lights manages to put away point number 2. That being said, even though it was a valiant effort, Phoenix Lights now at match point. If they manage to take this one down, they'll be the only undefeated team going into bracket play, which puts them on the best possible position they can be against their matchup in the elimination bracket. Here we go, potential match point as Phoenix Lights is immediately in possession of the skull, attempting another flank maneuver. Once again, the right-hand side chain dominant, takes down the Quick, tries to take them down, but it looks like a bit of a wrap-up. Will finally get a chain break on the side of the Reapers, but they will lose another 1v1 duel, and we are looking like a bad spot. One single pin here from Cerberus, doing their best against Hawk. We're going to see if that's enough. Does look like Reapers are in possession of the skull. I think they might have won enough outside duels here. I stand corrected. Quick is actually trying to find the skull. I don't think they knew where it was. They ran completely across the other side of the field, and this could very well be the game for Phoenix Lights. They are once again zoned out by the chain, but they're going to be guarded in, and there it is. Unfortunate. The Quick was up but couldn't find the skull. They couldn't maneuver it, and there it goes. Phoenix Lights take the entire match 3-0, and it is victory on the side of Phoenix Lights. With that, their last match in seeding is over, and they will take the game at a perfect tear. We can see them incredibly well utilizing that chain to constantly guard off zone and take their right side where it needed to be every single time. That chain absolutely dominant, but the other 1v1s on Phoenix Lights shone through as well, and the speed of their Quick always tough to deal with. Very good attempts by the Reapers, constantly playing from the back foot and doing their best to put a stop to those goals, but it was never enough. And with that, Phoenix Lights moves 7-0 into bracket play starting tomorrow. Reapers, on the other hand, will find themselves midfield. I do believe with the way that seeding is going to match up, they're going to play their Colorado rival team, the Spartans. But we have one more game to get to today, Drengr versus Rigor Tortoise. Both of these teams on the lower end of standings when it comes to seeding. Drengr yet to pick up a win at all in seeding, for that matter. They go 0-6 into the last round of seeding. This is the very last game today, and the very last game of seeding overall. We will get into bracket play starting tomorrow, where we can see who will be crowned the North American champion and the end of the Mile High Open. Rigor, Tortoise, and Drengr take the field, both lining up. We can see Phoenix Lights is reffing this time around. You have a chance to see Hawk there, taking a look and calling out the ready signs. And here we go. Drengr actually on the left-hand side, Rigor Tortoise on the right. Those scoreboards are a little flip-flopped for set number 1. Rigor Tortoise in immediate possession. They're going to try the flank maneuver, but it's not going to work. Sword and board on the side of Rigor Tortoise are going to take them down, and Drengr are in full retreat. Chain in on the outside, and there's going to be no one left there to defend. One last attempt there, and there it is. Rigor Tortoise will put away point number 1 of the first set. Drengr doing their best to extend that play, but still not going to be good enough. Despite facing one of the lower-ranked teams, Drengr still falling apart a little bit at the line, not able to get that skull possession, and Rigor Tortoise get themselves an early first point. Countdown's going to commence here again in a second. We'll see if Drengr can finally get their line together and put some points on the board. They are the newest team to the league, just formed a couple months prior to the Mile High Open, and that inexperience is showing, though they do put up a valiant effort, and we have seen them even score a single point on Phoenix Lights, so it's not like they can't take a line when they need it. Flick will go over to the side of Rigor Tortoise, and a huge line collapse in the center. Right side, though, is doing particularly well. Once again, Rigor Tortoise will win the 1v1s, and we see just a single member on the side. Looks like Seabass will stop the push as they all begin to maneuver in. It's going to be a 2v1 this time around, and we will see a double that won't quite be enough. And because Seabass doesn't remain standing, Rigor Tortoise will put point number 2 on the board, and just like that, we are at set point for Rigor Tortoise. Good attempt once again, but the 1v1 duels are faltering, and we see some great skill on the side of Rigor Tortoise, constantly pushing the skull forward, keeping good formation, sending in back up, and playing all of the fundamentals that they should to try and get themselves a win. While we have a moment here in between plays, let's take a second. If you'd like to like, subscribe, and comment on this video, we would love to see you enjoy more Jugger content. And most importantly, join us again as we begin bracket finals play starting here on the channel. We are going to follow the elimination bracket all the way through from start to finish, so you can join us on the journey to crown the North American Mile High Open champions. Coming back into the game, Drengr and Rigor Tortoise currently at 2-0. It is set point for Rigor Tortoise. Drengr are going to need one heck of a comeback. We can see the ready calls going out there, which means that the countdown will begin and players are going to charge across the field soon. We've seen a lot of sword and board and slash meta from all teams traveling around. Very few of the Q-tip there you can see on the outside using for the Drengrs, as well as the dual shorts being operated by Rigor Tortoise. A double on the side of Rigor Tortoise and Drengr is going to stop them for a little while, but Chain will take them down. A beautiful double swing right there will take down the Quick as well. Skull is going to be forced to ice as Rigor Tortoise take possession. You can see the Chain once again guiding in. Dragon is going to be forced into attempt to take them down, will not be quite fast enough. We're going to see a bit of a scuffle over the goal, not able to do anything about it yet, but in comes the support by the name of Blastoise, and Rigor Tortoise have scored themselves set number 1, 3-0. Just like that, Rigor Tortoise are playing like one of the stronger teams. They are constantly using coverage and line support to their favor. Chain doing a wonderful job on outside right that time around, and we are now 3 points away from a match win to Rigor Tortoise. Drengr on the other side yet to put a point on the board. Very few points put on the board yet at all in the tournament. We'll see if they can start turning that around here. Ready calls going out. Rigor Tortoise and Drengr have now switched sides. Those scoreboards will be aligned. We see Rigor Tortoise racing to the line. They're going to get that flick first. Clash in the middle is going to go about both ways. Excellent win right there by Seabass. We're going to see the Skull being forced to move around and get iced directly into Drengr possession. Moving along the outside flank, a little bit of a shove there. Quick wrestle not going to be good enough as the Chain support is there for them. Step out of bounds by Rigor Tortoise means they're going to go down for 5 stones as we see Sword and Board moving up. We're going to see 2 on the side of Drengr going for defense, but it looks like their Quick is going to make a lunge for it with no support. Chain is going to bring them down, and once again, we see Rigor Tortoise in possession of the Skull. They are going to be forced to ice once again as Drengr put up a valiant defense here by the goal, but more backup is on the way. Chain versus Chain duel will go to the way of Rigor Tortoise, and that Chain is once again standing there ready, threatening, and pinning. Chain breaking has been a huge issue for many of the weaker teams in this tournament, and we see it coming through once again. Skull flick move over there by Dragon will be taken down, distracted by the Skull possession, but it's not going to matter if they manage to scoop through, and they will. Drengr's Quick is going to sprint their way in, 0 coverage on the backfield, and Drengr get themselves the first point of the set. I did not expect to see Drengr take that point right there. Rigor Tortoise was in command almost the entire round, but they lose coverage of the Quick for 1 second, and an easy sprint will put Drengr up 1-0 in set number 2. We can see Rigor Tortoise on the ready line talking strategy. Sword and Board there on the outside. Quick is going to give the ready call as they all set themselves good to go. I stand corrected. Sword and Board is actually going to shift there to the outside. We see the Quick there taking the standard center spot. Blastoise on Chain is going to take the outside. A bit of a slow walk in. Might be a little late to the center line. We're going to see a late camera switch here as Blastoise does make it to the center, but I do not see Rigor Tortoise in Skull possession as the Quick begins to charge forward. I stand corrected. We're going to be forced into a Quick position there over the mound. Chain is going to go down. Just about everyone on the field is down for a moment as Drengr try and get another valiant goal defense. Dragon about to be flanked on the outside as everyone gets back up and is immediately going to duel. They will manage to get an ice all the way across the field, forcing a nice reset as pins come in on the side of Rigor Tortoise. Blastoise resetting on the Chain there as the rest of Rigor Tortoise get into position. Trying to get the pins as everyone duels back and forth. Quick is now open and free to run across the field. Chain will knock down Card, and that may very well be the point. A beautiful double by Blastoise. I stand correct. It looks like Dragon doesn't quite get hit by the Chain there. He's actually going to manage to take the pin. I 100% thought there was contact there, but there wasn't. He's going to lose the Sword and Board fight anyway, though. And I don't know where Rigor Tortoise's Quick is gone, but they are certainly not here and not scoring the goal. We see a pin. Is going to be released there by the side of Drengr as Rigor Tortoise move back up to support. Chain over there pinning the Quick is going to get another victory as Drengr's Quick moves back around. Chain v Chain. Blastoise is going to take them down in the support, and we see a bit of zone along the outside. This time around, Drengr in possession of the Skull, going to try and dodge away from that Chain, but that is not going to happen. As support comes in, this time around, Blastoise is going to go down as Quick scramble for the Skull. Everyone's still in possession and dueling. Connor on the outside there is going to manage to put it in, and there it is. Point number 2 for Drengr. Rigor Tortoise constantly right on the verge of getting a point, but they are unable to clean it up. Drengr fight hard and put away another point. 2-0. It is the first set point that Drengr have had, I do believe. Rigor Tortoise 0 on the board. Drengr at their first set point. Can they manage to put this away and get a set on the board? Let's take a look. Countdown beginning. Both teams ready, willing, and able, putting it all on the floor here at the end of day one. We're seeing some sprints very, very quick compared to the start of the game. Everyone is putting their all on it. Chain break on Drengr will not quite go through, and the right-hand side is open for Rigor Tortoise. A chain jump won't work either. Rigor Tortoise is taking down several on the outside. Pins come in. We can see the quick maneuvering. Once again, Drengr's quick in possession of the skull is going to race downfield, but totally zoned off on the outside this time around. Everyone scrambling down by the goal, trying to get everyone down and get pins. Rigor Tortoise is going to come free. Is there anyone on the outside to continue coverage? They've got the chain there to provide the block, and there it is, a full field run, and Rigor Tortoise managed to put it away. This time around, they're doing the exact same thing that Drengr did. They managed to take the defeat away from themselves, clawing themselves a victory from all the way across the field. 1-2, Rigor Tortoise. Beautiful run, managed to sneak by a lot of the defenders, no backfield coverage for Drengr, and there was nothing they could do to stop that one from going away. 2-1 set point still for Drengr. There is no score differential in Jugger, so a third point at any point in time will give Drengr that set win. Countdown goes up. We see the flick attempt there by Rigor Tortoise. They will get possession of the skull early on. Chain is going to knock down on the outside. I think that might have actually been a friendly fire elimination there as Rigor Tortoise moved their way up the left-hand side of the field. There's no one left. Easy walk in, and that will be point number 2 for Rigor Tortoise. It is now set point to match point, and just like that, Drengr constantly trying to claw their way into a set victory, unable to do so yet. Rigor Tortoise put themselves in threat position to win the entire match and make Drengr 0-7 going into bracket play. Ready calls going out on both sides for what could be the final play of the match. Both sides call in, and here we go. Very fast line play this time around by Drengr. They will get the skull. We see a bit of chain break coming out this time on the right-hand side. No one goes down just yet. Chain broken a second time on the line. Third throw comes in. This time it will get the quick. Unfortunately, that time around, chain break is distracted, capitalized in on the quick, but Drengr moving quickly into position. They've got control of the skull. A sliding hit on the chain will take them down, but Drengr will also go down at the same time, moving in to get pins. Quick has possession of the skull and is now moving in towards the goal, forced to ice it away to themselves. They grab it, stumble in, and there it is! A diving play into the goal, and Drengr score. Point number 3, their first set of the entire tournament. They barely managed to claw that one in on an insane quick chasing dive, and they will get it. 3-2. Set goes to Drengr. We are in our final set of the game. 0-0. Scoreboards reset once again. It is insane to watch an underdog team give it their all on the field, and this time around, Drengr have managed to give themselves the first set victory of the entire tournament so far. Rigor Tortoise with a few wins under their belt, a set as well, and whoever wins this one wins the entire game. Jump Center will actually manage to get it down. Chain will also knock down the quick, and just like that, Drengr are in possession, but they will not get possession very long as everyone on the side of Drengr goes down. We can see Blastoise this time around going down to the chain, trying to stumble over. It looks like the chain will also take out Rigor Tortoise there as they attempt to disengage. Quick is going to get back up. Looks like ball was dead. It was wrapped inside the chain, so they do go down for a second or so, but they will come right back up. Going to be forced into coverage as they all try and guide themselves in. Going to be zoned away, taken down for at least 5 stones as Drengr move in on the flank. Chain and Sword and Board doing their best to try and get coverage as the Sword and Board players from the side of Rigor Tortoise. This time around, the Quick takes a charge they probably should not have. Goes down easy. They had the coverage, Rigor Tortoise did, to try and guide that in there, but this time looks like Drengr are going to ice it all the way across the field. I don't see any backfield coverage, and it looks like Drengr are going to pick up their own skull that they've iced, and they're going to put it in. First point of the last set goes to Drengr this time around. Really would have expected Rigor Tortoise to use their quick coverage right there. They had a Sword and Board player and I believe a Slash on the backhand side there who were ready to guide them in and force that into a duel. But unfortunately, their quick gets a little impatient, makes a dive for the goal, and doesn't make it in time, giving the point directly over to Drengr. 1-0, the final set, and I must say my voice is getting tired from this insane action of the last game of seeding play. We are in the final set, 1-0. Call goes out. We can see Drengr moving in on the skull quickly. Again, they get the flick. They get their skull possession, and we see a very timid line from all sides. No one wanting to take that shot just yet. Chain break won't take anyone down, and we see the right-hand side collapses immediately. The right-hand call, but there is one more person on the flank, and they manage to even the odds out. This time, though, Quick is on the left-hand side. He's going to be zoned out by multiple members of Rigor Tortoise as Rigor Tortoise take the downs and get their Quick into position. They had the right-hand side open, but the flank by Sword and Board on Rigor Tortoise was perfect, and they are going to move up their own left-hand side. They are trotting it in right now, but they might have the pins that they need. Chain goes for it, but can't quite get it in time. A good block there won't matter. They go down, and that should be a walk-in for Rigor Tortoise, and it sure is. They've tied this game up 1-1 in the last set. Good responsiveness on the side of Drengr, but it was not good enough. Beautiful coverage by Rigor Tortoise to slide backwards, get themselves goal coverage, use their flanking sword and boards. They did everything correct on that one, and it earned Rigor Tortoise the point. 1-1 tie game in the final set. The match could not get any closer than this. You could cut the tension with a knife as both teams line up once again. A jump on the center side will actually take multiple down. Chain and center will be destroyed. Looks like Drengr are going to move up the right-hand side, but we have no camera switch over this time around, but we do see people standing back up. It looks like they're still in the action of the play, so no point scored by Drengr just yet, and it looks like he will, in fact, put it away as everyone begins to reset. So there it is. Drengr score the second point. It is now match point for the first time for the Littleton Drengr. 1-2 is the scoreboard. Can the permanently defeated team of the tournament so far finally claw themselves a victory from the scraps of defeat against Rigor Tortoise? We will find out as the countdowns begin. One more point for Drengr to put it away, and they will get themselves the flick and possession of the skull. We see both sides duking it out. Quick actually manages to move over from the side of Rigor Tortoise, and a lot of people go down. There are still two enforcers up on the side of Rigor Tortoise. Chain included is going to grab pin right there on the Quick. Very few enforcers left to try to defend. Looks like one will move up. I think they managed to get the Quick. I don't know if they actually did. Quick may very well still be up on the side of Rigor Tortoise, but we cannot see the skull play on the center side. We see Drengr moving back in, trying to duel against the Chain and free themselves from the Quick. We see the Quick moving up left-hand side. We'll see if they can do it. They've got 2-on-1 coverage right now. They will go down, and just like that, it should be a free walk. Nobody can get in there fast enough. Rigor Tortoise, ladies and gentlemen, have tied this up at 2-2. That means we are going to a golden skull. Final point on the final set. Whoever takes this one wins the game. We are tied up on the most action-packed game of the entire tournament so far. Whoever gets this one gets the victory, gets the glory, and gets the better position in the elimination bracket starting tomorrow. There is something glorious about two even teams duking it out. A golden skull, you can see the slight change in color on the field. A real golden skull is being used for the final point, and Drengr goes over to skull possession as every single line takes it a little easy. Flank on the side of Drengr will go down as they unfortunately lose the duels. They've lost another one again. The line seems to be collapsing on the side of Drengr. Can they manage to keep this up? Pins come in on the side of Rigor Tortoise, but they will go down, and Drengr are once again in command of the play. They move up, but they're not able to get the Quick on their side as they are forced to move back around. Blastoise this time comes in, and I think he might be guided in. Dragon goes in for the final stop, but it's not going to be fast enough, and there it is. Rigor Tortoise, despite being behind for the entirety of the third set, will take the golden skull, and they will take the victory. That is the game, ladies and gentlemen. Rigor Tortoise get themselves victory, and Drengr will go 0-7 into the elimination bracket. Rigor Tortoise and Drengr put up one heck of a fight. Both teams doing everything in their power to win, but Rigor Tortoise had the better lineup, a little bit more experience on their side, and it showed very well. Good chain, good pins, good maneuvering and coverage on the side of Rigor Tortoise earned themselves a hard-fought but well-earned victory. That was the best game of Jugger I have seen so far in this tournament, and I am so excited for elimination play to start tomorrow. Thank you all very much for joining us at the Mile High Open. Once again, I am Sebastian Seabass Wolf. If you like this content, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, and we will see you next time at the Colorado Jugger League.